Yeah.
All right, we're live now anyway.
Oh.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Oh, God. I think that'd be a quick. Oh dear, it's going well. Oh fuck.
We've cracked the wine out for the special occasion. Oh, which way am I going?
Yeah,
Well,
it's all back
I hope
front.
you've got lots of it because you're probably going to need it.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
we've got a good stash, good lockdown stash of wine.
Just waiting to see how many people are online before we introduce.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Hello, Mark. Hello, Glenn.
Oh,
just had
big
a few
load.
there.
We've caught up now.
Oh, there we go.
Pebbles and Peach, hiya Mel.
Yeah.
Rome from home. How you doing? We've been talking earlier on.
Cool.
Good evening, you lovely people. I presume they're talking to you and not me.
Wooly
sorry.
card.
Hello. Sorry, I'm getting distracted reading the comments now. Sorry.
It's nice seeing names recognise.
We'll get cracking. But
yeah.
For anybody that's watching that doesn't know who you are, just introduce yourselves and.
Yeah. You start. I'll fill in the gaps.
Okay, so we're Meg and Cal. We named ourselves the Novice Explorers. Flora is our self-built van, the VW-T5. We converted the van ourselves over about 3 years, saved up, and we are currently traveling. Right at this moment, we're in Sardinia.
On a closed campsite. We've been here for 6 weeks, nearly 7. We saved up for about 3 years, converted the van, downsized, and we've taken a year out. We hope never to return, but we realise that is not going to happen. We will have to return at some point to earn more money and just
hopefully do similar again.
Yeah.
So obviously, I've not really known about your channel for too long. I think I knew about it before the potato thing because I saw a video. Well, it's only been the last few weeks I've known about your channel, right? And I'm not going to lie, I don't watch many van channels, and I say this every live. I don't watch many van channels because I live in a van. I don't want to watch other people living in vans, so I don't watch many, right?
Yeah.
But your channel is annoyingly intriguing. And today I was trying to describe your channel to somebody, and I describe you two as kind of the Richard and Judy of van life in a really obscure way, right? Now, the Whingy projects were the Richard and Judy of van life. However, I think we've taken that fucking title.
Is it our presentory mannerism?
I honestly don't know how you do it, right? It must take you hours to rehearse your videos. or you can just have genuine chemistry. And I think now I just watch your videos for that. I don't care what your videos are about. I probably can't even tell you what any of your videos are about. I just watch it for you two. Just
Richard and Judy, I don't know who's got the shorter straw.
I'm not going to tell you which one I think's which.
We'll take it as a compliment either way, whoever is who.
Yeah.
No, thank you. We appreciate that. We try to have a bit of variety, I think. Obviously, we live in a van and we travel, so we do a bit of travel vlog, but then we're trying not to pigeonhole ourselves too much. So Meg does the cooking. Obviously, we got involved with yours and Mel's challenge, which is right up our alley with Meg being a chef.
Mel just said that you won, by the way.
Thanks, Mel.
No, we had good fun with that.
Well, I was trying to get more people to do the hashtag. We had people saying, I'm going to try it. No one sent us any pictures, but we did try.
That was a good laugh. Yeah, enjoyed that.
I think Mel is the queen of hashtags on YouTube.
Yeah. But the Vanlife tag hit us after a few weeks, and we were in Portugal, I think.
Yeah. We sat and watched for a while and was like, oh, is no one going to tag us for a little bit? And just sat there like...
I'm gonna have to speak to Mel a bit more about and get some ideas for YouTube videos from her, because she seems to have got all the ideas.
Yeah.
She thinks outside the box, bless her.
Yeah,
She does.
definitely.
I'll start working on the next. Yeah, definitely. She just commented. So yeah, so what my point was before I started proper groveling to you and telling you how great your channel is and that. What I was
groveling, seriously.
my point. There was a point to that. I was getting somewhere with it. So you're in Sardinia now. Yeah. I assume that you weren't planning on staying there 6 weeks.
No, we're honest.
Where'd you come from? Where were you going to?
So we were about 9 months into our planned year. That's what we kind of budgeted for, but we didn't really know what was going to happen. We didn't have a firm plan as such. So we were in France on about the 8th or 9th of March. I think it was. Yeah. So then we were meant to meet. We were going to meet friends in Italy, mainland Italy, but obviously at the time it was still open, but the north of Italy was getting very strict, so we cancelled that and decided to just jump on a ferry.
Yeah, we thought that we would escape the lockdown in the north by going to a small island of Italy, expecting it to blow over in a couple of weeks, maybe a month tops, and we could meander our way back down onto mainland and continue the journey. But that hasn't happened and doesn't really look like it's going to particularly.
Yeah.
So where are you going to go as soon as you can go then?
Well, we'd love to stay here for as long as we can, because we only saw the smallest smidgen. I think the day the ferry disembarked here, we drove to a beautiful beach, and then we got the news that the whole of Italy, so including Sardinia, was on lockdown.
Yeah, literally 9 hours after we got off the ferry, this was.
Yeah, and obviously there's this island, beautiful, so we'd love to see a bit more of this, hopefully.
Yeah, I think we've seen a maximum of 2 different postcodes in Sardinia so far, so as soon as we can, we will just travel around the island, see this lovely place, and as for what happens next, we're not really sure. Yeah. It's all up in the air. We don't know.
Have you got like electric hookup and stuff where you are then?
Yeah, we've been really lucky. Like Meg said, we're on a campsite, but it's closed. And fortunately it's really big as well. So we've got showers, toilets, electric. Wow. There's some swimming pools that could probably do the clean. We're not going to jump in those. But the campsite itself is really big as well. So we can take 20-minute walks. Wow. Going around the perimeter, which really helps, because not everyone has got outside space in this in this lockdown.
Hello, the stag. Just noticed you.
Yeah, so we're really lucky.
Yeah. Costing a small fortune, mind you, but that's drone pigeon.
Yeah, you're paying a lot for it then.
They've given us a discounted rate, but when we arrived, we didn't know how long we were going to be here, so we just said yes. They are doing us a cheaper rate, but we're still spending, should I say, about 400 euros a month. But then we're not driving, we're not spending money on fuel. We've got electrics. We are safe and comfortable, so
and that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. During these times, I mean, we've been so lucky.
Yeah, we see the stories of other van lifers and just think, wow, we've really landed on our feet here. And just how thankful we are. We're here with another couple called the Westphalia Digital Nomads. So Armando, he's Italian, so he's been doing a lot for us.
Yeah,
the shopping whilst we're on self-quarantine, and just translating everything. So
yeah, we're really fortunate. They've helped us a tremendous amount, more than we could have hoped for, really. Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about your van and the setup you've got, and how. I mean, I have lived in a T5.
Yeah.
And I lasted 3 months, if that, and I was on my own.
Yeah.
You're a couple, which is hard work as it is, being a couple anyway. But then being a couple in a small flat or apartment is difficult. Being a couple in a T5 must be a nightmare. But anyway, don't just concentrate on the being a couple thing. But what tell us about the setup of your van.
So we, like I said, we converted it ourselves. Obviously, you have a more traditional layout with a T4, T5, the sort of rock and roll bed in the middle, and that kind of thing. But we wanted to have something a bit different. So we've got like a pull-out bed. Show you the layout in a second, which allows us. It's sort of lengthways in the van, so we can actually move through the van from the back doors, side door, and obviously we've got swivel seats on the front, so we can sort of like, when we have our seating area, we can sit different parts of the van, which does help just give you that little bit of space.
We can be up to 2 meters apart in the van if we need to be.
When you have an argument, one can sit in the front, one can sit in the back.
Pretty much.
The
thing is, Liam, we have to talk it out.
Oh.
I sound all zen, but that's what we tried to do.
To be fair, though, I mean, yeah, you'd consider it to be an intense scenario, and it can be, but we've gone all right, haven't we? We haven't had any major problems yet.
Again, going back to the thing that I was saying earlier about how I watch your videos just for you two mainly. I don't give a toss about where you live or anything. It's just how you two interact. I am jealous of that. Like that's you seem like a couple that I'm struggling a bit. All right, I've been single for a little bit too long. I don't want to be, and I'm watching couples like you two on TV, just thinking, "Fuck, why can I not find somebody like that I can just be like that around?" So basically, you're ruining my life.
Sorry, mate.
But I have to every morning like I'm watching Richard and Judy.
It could be worse. It could be Richard or Judy. We were together 6 months before the van life seed was planted in our brains, I think. So it wasn't just one person's like idea or you come and live in my van kind of thing. We built it together. We dreamt the dream together, and you know, we kind of, at the same time, we knew what we were getting ourselves into. We're watching other people's stories and just knowing that it would be a joint journey, not just come live in my van, love, please.
Did he actually say it in a Yorkshire accent as well?
That just happens naturally.
I was going to say, when we started, Meg is going to unintentionally talk Northern because she can't help herself. When she hears an accent, it'll just come out.
It's a problem. It's a little bit like a tick.
I've got a tick where I either talk Scouse or Australian. So
now you'll see how annoying it is back on you now. So
well, I'm locked down with a Scouser, by the way. Also, there's a Scouser on with us, and everything she says needs repeating. Everything, no matter what it is, it deserves repeating.
My sister went to Manchester Uni, so that they've got like phrases that I just pick up, and it's got to be said in that accent. Otherwise, you don't say it, or you say something totally different. So that's what I'm blaming it on, anyway.
Liam doesn't need a woman. Well, I don't need a woman, no, but I'd like one. Just can't seem to find one that I'm not going to fucking argue with. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. Like, I don't get like bothered by stuff like that. But then when I see people just fucking getting on. Anyway, this is not about me. This is not about me and my love life. All right, let's change it back around a bit. So living in like I said, living in a T5 is difficult at the best of times. Like, you must have been places where the weather's not great and you are literally in the van for a long period of time. How are you finding that?
I think that the worst weather we've had was when we went to the Isle of Skye, so up in Scotland, and that was near the beginning of our journey, because and then we feel a bit like fraudsters because we didn't like live in the van before we left. We kind of just built the van, tested out a couple of nights, then we downsized, jumped in, drove off. So yeah, getting back to your original question, the bad weather, we had about 3 or 4 days where the wind was battering us and it was torrential rain. And then you
shut my thumb in the door whilst putting the front cover on to block out the light.
And then we've got like a little retro radio that we dropped.
My thumbnail ended up falling off.
Really?
I nearly came out nothing as well.
This is why you get on so well, then, isn't it? Because you're constantly in fear of him trapping your thumb in a door if you open your mouth or give any.
Yeah, all the people that watch the channel would say it's the other way around, but I'm happy for you to say that, Liam. I'm cool with that.
We'll let him think that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, so that was probably the lowest point, and that was near the beginning. So you sort of question, are we ready for this? So yeah, we've had some bad weather, and like I said, you're trapped in the van and we can't stand up. You know, you put the kettle on and it's full of steam because we haven't put proper ventilation in the van, which is one of the biggest mistakes we made. So that can get a bit like, you're hot, you're wet.
You can't open the windows or doors because A, it's raining, and B, there's midges everywhere.
So that's definitely testing your stress levels there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always, there's always decisions to make, which I find quite stressful sometimes.
Yeah, there's always, because we when we were traveling, we were moving every other day or so. So there's always, where's the water, where are we parking, where are we buying diesel, all that kind of stuff.
How long until we really need the toilet? Because that's another thing, we don't have a toilet in the van either. So that's an added little snippet for you.
And then there's like, I think when we're trapped in the van, we have some similar hobbies, but very different as well, I think.
Yeah, but there's always stuff to be doing with a YouTube channel, as you're aware. There's always something you can be editing, doing, planning. So we try and use our time wisely and think ahead a bit, really. Bit of research.
And rehearsing your own videos, because they must take a long time to do. Who is the script writer out of the two of you?
They just have endless amounts of just gobbledygook.
I think it depends what video it is. You write some, I write some, or we write together and we try.
Yeah,
we try
writing process.
But it's not really our forte, so we're getting better at it. But it's
you should see the amount of outtakes that there are. Like, we leave the good bloopers in, but there's the ones where they're really irritating or just like.
Yeah, there's a lot that ends up on the cutting room floor. So it looks slick after the edit, but before that, there's hours of footage to trawl through the dust. Being stupid, really.
As you'll see from my channel, anything goes. So basically, I barely edit anything. So I have to just do everything in one take. But I don't have anybody I need to bounce. I don't have anybody to bounce off, so I don't need to. I just basically, whatever's in my head, it just comes out, and then that's it. It just gets put pretty much straight on there. So I don't have any hard work to do as such. But you obviously your channel's kicking off, so you must be doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, we've been at it for quite a while, because we started when the idea was just a digital document diary for ourselves to look back on the van conversion, because we didn't know what we'd be doing, and then that gathered a tiny following over a while, and like we've been at the channel for a few years now, haven't we? Yeah. But not really like putting loads and loads of work in until we.
Yeah, and not putting uploading regularly either, which is also the thing that you kind of need to do to get.
Yeah.
I get the impression that Mel from Pebbles and Peach is a massive fan of yours, because she's commenting quite a lot.
I think we all need a meet-up, really. I think we all need to go over to Ireland when all this has calmed down and have a good old shindig.
Yeah, definitely go to Ireland for sure. Mel did ask, "Where's the favourite place you've been so far?"
For me personally, it's a toss-up, probably between the Outer Hebrides, just because it was so quiet and beautiful when the weather wasn't really harsh, or Austria for myself.
Yeah. I was quite shocked by the south of Spain, the southeast of Spain. We had some really beautiful car parks, park-ups on beaches, wild camp, which you opened the door in the morning and remembered where you were, and it was like, oh, wow, we're going to spend the rest of the day here. And, yeah, there was no one else around because it was out of season, and we picked good spots.
Wow. Going back to the rainy day scenario, what else do you do to sort of that thing, like hobbies and that?
Spend the time, waste the time.
So I do a lot of stuff on the computer. Obviously I edit our videos, but then I'm quite keen on photography and stuff, so that keeps me quite busy.
Yeah, and I write blogs. I also write recipes, van life recipes. That's one thing that I've been doing recently.
We listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
Which is like, if we're not like binging something on Netflix, then we'll be listening to something on the audiobooks, which is quite nice, a bit different, isn't it?
That was a mosquito, everybody. Do
Yeah,
apologise.
sorry.
What audiobooks are you listening to currently?
We have picked up quite a thing for Stephen King. We've rinsed quite a few of Stephen King's. We're currently on Pet Sematary, aren't we?
Yeah.
Near the end of that. So we like a bit of horror thriller sort of.
Yeah, I've never really read Stephen King, so this is a great way. But the only thing is, you get transported. We listened to it whilst we were driving, and I tend to do quite a bit of the driving. So you're just there in your own little world driving. And if you're not 100% concentrating, it's not a good thing.
That's how
One thing we watch at the moment.
Go on.
Sorry.
One
thing we watch on Netflix at the moment is Last Kingdom, Vikings.
I've not
Have you
watched
watched
that.
it?
I've watched Vikings on Amazon, but not Last Kingdom on Netflix. I started to watch Last Kingdom, but because I was watching Vikings, it clashed a little bit, I think.
Yeah. I watched Vikings.
Yeah. Loved
it. Got really into it. If I could be anyone, it would be Lagatha.
Yeah. I think I would. Although she's dead now, so you know.
Spoiler.
God, right.
Anybody not watched it, she's dead. She's dead. I watched it. I only watched the latest series like a few days ago. I put an appeal out to see if anybody had got an Amazon Prime login I could borrow so I could watch it, and I watched it like a few days ago. So spoiler alert, she's dead.
Last Kingdom is a good, when you're not getting any more Vikings, it's a good backup.
I might
just launched the
that
season.
Yeah. It's good. I didn't come from Vikings, so to speak.
Did you not?
But Last Kingdom I really enjoyed, to be fair.
Really?
Really good binge, isn't it?
Oh, just bear with me. I've got a knock on my door. Just a sec.
No worries. We'll look at the questions because we haven't been looking at those.
I did see one before. They asked if we've been to Denmark. The answer's no, but we can't wait till it's time to go north.
Yeah, we might. It depends how we come back as well.
Yeah.
Carry on, it's fine.
Literally just started watching Vikings. We've just definitely spoilt that.
That was you two. That wasn't me.
we didn't say when she dies though, so it's fine. Don't worry. When she dies, you've
got a few banging seasons though, Pixie. I know you love your van. This is Roam from Home. When you finish your trip, will you stay in your van in the UK? Would you upgrade to a bigger van? This is something that we toss about verbally quite a lot. And I think because Flora's all bought and paid for, I think we'll stick with her until we become old and decrepit and have bag backs and knees and stuff. So,
which isn't too far away by the way mine feel, but yeah. So we'd love to keep the van, a few little upgrades, and then when we get home, we really don't know what we're doing yet. You reading?
Sorry.
So when you took on the sort of when you took on the van life thing, it was purely to travel, wasn't it? It wasn't we're going to live in a van. It was we're going to travel in a van. There's two different things, isn't it?
Yeah. And for me, that's sorry.
No, it's fine. Go for it.
I was just going to say, for me, yeah, that's what it was initially, but now I've enjoyed this far more than I thought I would have. Not every day is perfect, obviously, but there's something about it that's just so freeing, whether that's financial or actually physically being able to move about. I don't know, but I've become accustomed to it, and I think I wouldn't look forward to going back to bricks and mortar, to be honest.
No, I think this starting the van life and reading into it a little bit more, an alternative lifestyle. We wouldn't necessarily turn to bricks and mortar, but we're very interested in like tiny homes and just not having a mortgage, basically.
Or paying rent.
Yeah.
I can't imagine ever living in a house again, but I know that it's going to happen eventually. But I just can't imagine handing over like money every month to whether it's a mortgage or rent. I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
I like seeing that money in my bank.
yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think, yeah, like Meg said, we'll find a way to do something different. Whether we stay in the van, I don't really know. We'd love to do more traveling, but we're just financially constrained, I guess, because we only budgeted for a year, so there's something's gonna have to give.
Yeah, we could do with finding remote jobs. Really, I did have one for a little time, for a month, but I got furloughed, but wasn't entitled to it, so that was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, are you doing anything for work then? Like, have you got any income streams whilst on the road, or is it something that you saved up for and you're like sort of using savings?
Yeah, primarily we saved up £6,000 each to travel. So we have that as our kitty. In terms of earning money, we do a little bit obviously with our YouTube channel and sort of affiliate links and kind of that stuff. But we put money sort of back into the YouTube channel, so it kind of evens out roughly. Maybe making a little tiny profit, but there's nothing we can rely on. So yeah, it's savings at the moment.
Yeah, and I had a job for a month.
What was that doing?
And that was it.
But
I was working for a company doing social media management as an assistant.
Yeah, wow. Which is kind of like ideal because it was 100% online, pretty much, as long as we had, solar power
and 4G.
And
4G, which is pretty easy to find, isn't it? It's good.
I think that's what Kirsty from the Boondockers was doing. In fact, no. Who else was doing that? I forgot. I've had a drink. I can't remember people's names. Our Jolly Journey are doing that as well.
Yeah, it's ideal for this kind of lifestyle if you're moving. Yeah.
I think we just got to broaden our horizons on what we're capable of doing online, and then I think we'll be all right.
What sort of things are you doing with affiliate links? Then are you making is it an amount of money that's worth talking about, or is it just like pence?
Oh no, this month's been good. I mean, the thing with them is that they will vary so much, obviously depending of the time of year, what stuff people are buying and stuff like that. But I think this month, because someone made a large purchase through our links, I think we're going to earn about £60, £70. So I mean, that's not to be sniffed at. That's shopping for a week.
Yeah, sure.
So but then the next month could be 10, 15 less. It just depends.
Yeah.
Our Jolly Journey are rolling their eyes at me, and I don't know if that's because I forgot the name or whatever. I'm not very good with names. Tiny Planet has a good few ideas for online work, like remote call center. It sounds awful.
Okay. I think Judy could do that quite nicely.
Yeah.
Are you looking at me?
No, it was myself. You'd be awful.
Remote call center. There are things to look into, isn't there?
Oh, our rolling journey. It was supposed to be a cute face. When are the Flora workouts coming out, Stag? Never, mate. He also wanted to know before when you're going to cut my dreads off because of the awful haircut I gave you.
Oh, that time's coming.
When we're in Holland.
Lockdown haircuts are a thing.
This is even before lockdown, though. This is just because he didn't want to pay for one. I got the clippers out. And it didn't go it looked like a lockdown haircut before it was even a thing.
Yeah. And that time of year was absolutely roasting in the Netherlands, and I had to wear a woolly hat to keep it covered up.
Was it that bad?
It was crap.
Yeah.
I will never put hairdressing on my CV. So yeah.
So Toasty Up seems obsessed with swingers.
Yeah, I was going to say
that. I'm not sure that Meg and Cal are swingers, although I don't know them that well. They did just mention some other people on the campsite with them who could also be swingers, but I don't think they are, for the record. However, our Jolly Journey are definitely 100% swingers. There's The van life gossip for you all.
There's the scoop.
Yeah. If whatever floats their boat, each to their own.
They've got to earn their money somehow as well. So, the exporters messaged me because somebody else asked if I was going to get you on a live chat. So if you want to come and do a live chat one day, you should join. If not, that's fine. Worth asking.
It's good fun.
Yeah, it's good fun.
We recommend it. I mean, you two have spoiled a show for somebody already, but apart from that, it's going all right.
Exactly what I know. Try and ruin somebody's life in some way. Gonna try making that blue cheese dip.
Oh.
Pebbles is
that was one of the... Say again.
Pebbles. Mellie's a massive fan of yours, isn't she?
But we are of hers too. So
reciprocated.
Yeah. That blue cheese dip was from a recipe we made the other day. I got our fellow campmates to go to the shop and get 5 mystery ingredients, and it's a bit like Ready Steady Cook.
Wow.
So
keep ourselves entertained.
I called it Ready Maggie Cook. Doesn't work with Judy though, so I ain't doing it. So don't even ask.
Liam, which van did you buy? Oh, did you want to buy? I'm looking at a newer Sprinter than this, and also long wheelbase. But I'm gonna do a live on my own to discuss this. I figured because I didn't want to ruin this one, but I'll talk about new van things on a live maybe Wednesday. I think so. You can all just not tune into that one because it'll be boring.
Meg's reaching for a notepad.
I've already asked the Vikings versus Last Kingdom.
I am gonna watch Last Kingdom though. I'm sure I started it a few years ago.
Yeah.
But I did a shitload of exercise today, so tomorrow there's no way I'm gonna be able to get out of bed. So I'm gonna try and watch it. I might watch one after this, and then I will push through that. I'll do it.
I think there's storylines that kind of like blend, but not 100%. After watching one, then the other. But give it a go. 4th season dropped yesterday.
Yeah. All right. That was my next question. How many seasons is that? I can deal with 4. What I don't want to do is start a series that's got fucking 8 seasons already, because that's just irritating.
Because that's commitment, isn't it? This one's quite nice, and I'd say stick with it because I think it gets better and better, doesn't it? Yeah. At least at the moment. I don't know what the 4th season's like.
Yeah, promise you.
Mr. W wants to know if we've got an Alexa.
If we have,
yeah,
no, nothing that sophisticated.
Written in your notepad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Old school here.
What was the other things that you had on your notepad, or was it just the Vikings one?
Vikings.
One that's tied to that. I wanted to know how and sort of when you got into throwing axes, and like what your other hobbies are.
So it was only maybe 18 months ago. A friend of a friend opened an axe throwing centre in Sheffield, and I got talking to them about it. And not to go axe throwing, I actually said, "Would you let me come and film some things so that I can put together a little advert for you on for like Facebook and stuff?" And it was just purely because I wanted to practice editing something different than me chatting to a camera. And he said, "Yeah, just come down." So I filmed 2 teams axe throwing with each other, and wasn't involved in any way. But at the end, I said, "Oh, do you mind if I throw one?" He goes, "Oh yeah, sure, just throw one." And I threw one, and I was like, "Oh, that was quite satisfying." So I think I then paid for a session, and it was like £20 for just over an hour, I think, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
So then I bought an axe from him instead, and then he gave me an old target, and then from there I've just been. But literally, first day of lockdown, my target smashed into pieces, so it got used as firewood. So we've just been trying to find any old bits of wood we can to throw axes at.
I'm sure you'll find something lying about.
Yeah, there's plenty of...
Are they like similar to archery targets where they're like straw?
No, they're basically slices of tree trunk.
Oh, okay.
So all the basically the grain the grain isn't going one way, so the axe will stick in whichever direction the axe is facing. So yeah, that's basically it. But we did make some. We made some out of some old timber and stuff. But they did last the evening. But we were throwing a lot of axes, a good few hours. Like,
yeah.
Have you ever tried it yourself?
No, I haven't. No. I've got a feeling I wouldn't be very good.
You can throw any axe. So even if you've got like a little wood chipping axe, you can still throw that.
Okay. What's the technique? Do you like whip it?
Here we go. Start something new now, mate.
Distance and rotations. That's it, basically. It needs to do like 2 rotations, and in fact, no, one rotation, and basically, if it's got to stick in with the point of the axe. I've got this axe around here, so I'll use this, but it's got to stick in with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if it lands that way, you've gone too far, and you need to go a bit closer. If it lands that way, then go a bit further back. So that's it. Basically, it's just about the distance.
Oh, fair enough. Hopefully, you won't hear about a man decapitating himself in Sardinia with an axe.
Reading that one there. Have we ever met in person? No.
We've only talked to each other. This is the first time we've talked to each other. We had a brief conversation on Instagram, didn't we?
Yeah.
Only the last maybe 2 weeks that we've been in conversation.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, another one from the stag was a good question. Looking at how many tattoos Liam has got, have we got any secret tattoos?
No secret ones, no.
No secret ones.
You've got a few, haven't you?
You do yours first, because yours is the best.
No, mine's naff. Mine...
One on my foot.
Wow.
Lovely angle. And then I've got one under what's it called? Is it sternum tattoo?
Yeah. Show us that one then.
And then one. I prefer not to, if you don't mind. We got some wonderful ideas for tonight, but we realised we weren't ever going to be drunk enough to do it.
What ideas did you have?
Well, I've been taking an interest in your Instagram story and your circular sticker design. And we've got some circular stickers of our own, and Richard was going to put them on for you.
Wow!
But we decided that it probably wasn't.
Yeah, but even after this live's finished, when you've continued drinking, you can still post them on Instagram.
Yeah. Maybe. I just saw a question there. Have we got pop top? No. We have a 2.5 meter awning, a Rhino roof rack, a 255 watt solar panel, and a roof box on the roof.
And 2 surfboards.
So at the moment, it's not feasible. But we'll look into it for the future. But yeah, there's too much weight on the roof, unfortunately. So we just have to live life bent double.
I'm just trying to go through comments again.
Yeah, sorry if we've missed some.
We've missed a lot of explorers. Sarah's got dreads, explorers, and I wanted to ask you actually, how do you get rid of the fuzz on the top? I end up looking like my Uncle Bert when it grows out. It's awful. It's like a mullet.
The thing is, I get that as well with my hair. I've got so much breakage, and what I've realised is that my cladding on my ceiling just rips like 1 or 2 hairs off every day. And I've just ended up with like loads of fluff on the top of my head from where it's just ripping my fucking hair out.
I find that when I wash it, I have to go like that to like try and knot it all back in. I had it like touched up and looked after when I was back home in the UK, and had it all like really tightly like wrapped up. Don't have to give you a headache, but it looked a lot better. I wondered if she has any top tips for that. But I've had them for about 2 or 3 years.
I just saw, sorry, Rome from Home said there's also a lot of stuff on the roof that we don't use, which is very true.
Pretty much bloody everything.
Yeah, we bought probably more than we ever needed, really. But we've learned our lesson now.
How many times the surfboards on your roof?
I knew that question was coming. To surf once.
Such a frigging waste of time, man.
What we should have kept was our paddleboard. Our inflatable paddleboard was brilliant because we could both get on that and we can pack it down. The 2 surfboards are they're massive because they're like 8 foot, 7-8 foot each.
We have the best intentions, but we got them off at Portugal and we had to go in Sagres. But then we went up to Nazare and that's like big wave country. And it was just, we'd probably have died.
No, definitely. Definitely.
I've never, ever, ever surfed in my life. And honestly, if I die never surfing, I think that's fine. It just seems like I'm scared of the sea anyway, because sharks live there. And don't make the noise like the Jaws thing. Yeah. So no, I'll not be surfing anytime soon.
I'm not the biggest fan of the sea, to be honest. Am I? Meg will get in anything like ice cold, murky waters. I probably won't bother. I needed to be a certain temperature and a certain clarity, I think.
Yeah.
Even like lakes and rivers and stuff, you're like, no thanks. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm in.
But if we've been traveling and we need a wash, then yeah, we'll probably just about get in then. If it's,
I did do I did some wild swimming last year a little bit in some rivers and stuff out in the peaks, and it was all right. But then as soon as something touches your leg or like,
yeah,
I think the big thing I was scared of was because I will never go in water without shoes on, so I can't go in with bare feet. And I was walking through this river, and my shoelace got caught on something, and I just thought, what would I do if that got caught properly and I couldn't get it off?
Yeah, so I'm the same. I've got like a really thick winter wetsuit, but I pretty much wear it all year round. It's 4 mil, which is about as thick as they come, and I've got my little boots as well. I feel like I'm in a suit of armor if I'm in that thing, which is fine.
And when we had the SUP he also had like a buoyancy aid, so he was just like, yeah, I'm not going to drown. Everything's absolutely fine.
But a shark can still bite through that.
Well, yeah, but at that point, I think I can't really worry too much.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the sea. We were in Thailand a couple years ago. No, last year.
Yeah, last year.
And we were snorkeling, so just the basic. I've never used one before. I had the GoPro as well, which is hard trying to swim and film. And I swam into a massive, massive jellyfish.
Really?
Trying to hyperventilate through the snorkel and like reverse with a GoPro. Yeah, out of my depth.
I went to Thailand also this time 2 years ago, and I went on one of the boat trips to like the Phi Phi Islands and all that kind of thing. And when we stopped in one place, everybody jumped off the boat snorkeling. I jumped off the boat after probably half an hour of trying to psych myself up to do it. Got off, kept hold of the rope for the anchor. I put my head under the water, could see fish everywhere, and just got fucking straight out. I was like, no, get out, that's it. And they were like, I said, there's going to be sharks. And they were like, oh, only little sharks, don't worry. I was like, any sharks, I'm out. And that was it. I didn't go in the water again.
Yeah.
Your sister's been in touch, Cal. What presents have you bought me from your travels? And Callum, you in the sea. Remember when your dad grabbed your leg?
Question 1 is none. Sorry, customs, Joanne, can't bring you back anything at all. I'll send you a postcard though. And yes, I'll never forget Dad grabbing my leg.
Probably where the fear came from.
I'm pretty much a doggy paddler, so that's why I probably don't like the sea as much as I could.
Who's little sausage?
Little sausage.
I presume that's this is the Scouser parked up the road, by the way. So if you can read that out in a Scouse accent, it makes it much easier.
Go on.
I haven't practiced. No, I'm not. I will refrain from this time.
Don't cause offence.
Don't insult the Scousers because they'll find you and they'll take the wheels off your van.
How come those ones pop up on screen? Is that
because I can select which ones I put up on screen? So if
I see.
A bit like being God. You know,
yeah.
Someone asked us earlier on, what's it like being on a live stream with God?
What is it like being on live stream with God?
Good.
Yeah, a little bit intimidating.
Yeah. We're running on adrenaline.
People thought we were nervous before, but this is what my neck gets like when I drink wine.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably intolerant, but I ain't gonna
Just so you know, though, even God gets a bit nervous when he's on a live stream with Richard and Judy.
Well, that's to be expected. We've only done one before on our channel, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
It was havoc. I was stressing. I was running around trying to like sort everything out.
And after we were just running on like
adrenaline.
Afterwards, we couldn't go to bed for like 3 hours after it.
Yeah.
Wow. The sausage comment. The sausage comment was about the chipolatas that I bought today. They want to know where they are. They're in my van. They're in my cupboard. So if you want to come and get the chipolatas, you can all come and have a go at my chipolatas if you want. Yeah, all the ladies are after my sausages today. God and Richard and Judy walk into a bar.
The stag just quoted you. I think I can't see
not
it.
Again.
I'm probably intolerant, but I ain't giving up. I think that was about me, not the wine. Oh, Woolly Cod, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll do one on our channel in the near future.
Yeah, we didn't do one because we know that the internet's so shit, but we thought we'd sorted it out. Obviously not.
Yeah, I've got my phone is currently on top of it. There's like a little JCB digger opposite the van. We've had to drive out the campsite a little. We're still in the campsite, but off the ground. And my phone's on the roof of that at the minute, so hopefully it's right outside.
It's not bad quality now. It's just the light that's a bit low, isn't it? But the quality,
yeah, I think
especially is good.
We haven't got very good lights, and we've got little spotlights, little LEDs, and they're good when you're in the van. But for this type of thing, they're not brilliant. I don't think. What are you laughing at?
Yeah. Have you been out of Europe? Out of the UK in your van, Liam?
I went out of the. Some people knocking on my van. I went out of England in my T5. I went. Just bear with me a second.
No worries.
Bloody hell, trying to do a live stream here.
They've come for the chipolatas, haven't they?
Chipolatas.
The only bit we've missed was the chipolata.
Probably. Apologies if there's been comments asking questions.
Hello to everybody that's said hello, because I'm not quite sure we're going to be able to go back over them.
Yeah. See these women coming round for a bit of my sausage all the time. Can't get away from it.
SWAT raid?
He doesn't leave Sheffield usually. That's almost true. So yeah, so when I had my T5, I went to France, Belgium, and Holland. Stayed in Amsterdam for a while, and then came back. And I've been to Scotland and Wales. But in this van, I bought this van from Wales, and I've not been anywhere out of England in this van because I've got a child. Also, I'm limited to how far I can go, and because I work a normal-ish job rather than just being like a digital nomad. I suppose I'm very limited in where I can go, but this country is so good. To be fair, like there's so much of it.
Yeah.
It's not that far away. That's beautiful. So I've really enjoyed the last couple of years around here. Really.
Yeah.
That's one thing we realised, that we've got these big dreams of going to Europe and searching for the sun, or chasing the sun, really.
Yeah.
There was so much that we could have done back home in the UK.
Yeah.
So much we just neglected, which is sad, really.
But then I don't know how you...
Wales is just incredible. And again, Scotland, I was following Lost in Europe, Ash's journey around Scotland, and it just looks as good as anywhere else in the world, almost, really.
Yeah.
It's unreal. We love Scotland. I think that's one of the first places we'll go back to once we've sort of recouped and decided what we're doing. We were there for about 3 weeks or so, weren't we? And nowhere near enough time. Nowhere near enough.
Yeah.
There's so much of like home, the UK, that we would like to see. But we find the only thing with the UK is we find van life in general to be just a bit harder. You know, in Europe, you're quite spoiled for free stops, free airs, like free water, sometimes free electric. So you can sort of like pace yourself between these spots. Whereas back home, like we were struggling to find water some days. It's just a bit trickier. I think I feel anyway. How you feel?
Yeah, I certainly with the airs thing, makes a huge difference. I think that this country needs to catch up a little bit with that, but because I don't travel as such, I find it quite easy. Like even now, like this place where we are now is somewhere I would stay probably once a week, maybe, and we've been here for 5 weeks now, and we've got to know the area a bit more. I've been to Morrison's today, which is about maybe 10-15 minutes drive, which is not so bad. And there's a water tap behind the petrol station, so we've been filling up there, then going in and buying food and stuff. So it's not been too bad, really. I think that, and you can find things on Park for Night as well, like just water stops and showers and things. So it is a bit more. It's not been too bad, really.
No, yeah. Where are you exactly? You were like on a road, or are you in a car park?
Okay, so I'm not. Lots of people know where I am, but I don't really want to give the area away so much. But I'm in the Peak District, and it is a road. However, it's a dead end road, and the road has been closed off for the last 4 weeks.
Right.
But the police moved the cones last week, and then today said they were going to put them back up again for some strange reason. So there is a bit of traffic that comes round. This weekend's been busy with tourists. In fact, today I was sat in my van with the sliding door open. My sliding door's facing the countryside, so the road's over the other side. So I don't see anything. And today I heard 2 men pull up on motorbikes, basically slagging me off, saying it's people like me that are causing this virus, and I'm taking the piss and all this. Anyway, I jumped out. I'm not confrontational in any way, but today I got triggered by it. I jumped out and I was like, "All right, mate." And he was like, "Oh, yeah." And I was like, "You think it's all our fault?" And he was like, "Oh, no, I didn't mean you. So then I just forced myself I forced myself into a conversation with him, and he was just trying to blame everybody for everything. And I'm just like, yeah, but it's not really their fault. Like, you can't judge every single person you see as being like sort of breaking lockdown rules. He said, "Oh, I saw some people in a tent the other day, parked in a wooded area." I was like, "Well, how do you know that they're not homeless? How do you know that's not their only option?" Well, when you put it like that. So, you know, it was just a narrow-minded knobhead, basically, trying to blame everybody for everything. But the irony was, that he was here with his mate on a non-essential journey on his motorbike. Just come.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It beggars belief sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we consider ourselves to be lucky, because you cannot see where we are from the road. No one outside of this campsite will know we're even here. Which in a way is good, because we can sleep at night. We're very safe and secure. No one's pointing fingers. But when we go back into the real world, which might be in the next couple of weeks potentially, then it might be a bit of a shock. But yeah, it's funny. It's brought out the best and worst in people at times. This whole
100%. I think that a lot of people have been saying that. We have had so many nice people like walk past, locals, so stop and chat to us for a long time, and then we've had the most horrible just cunts, basically. Just like even the police community support officers telling us that we're not allowed to leave site ever again, not even for food and stuff like that, just trying to wind us up. But then the actual police officers have been so nice, it's just unreal.
Yeah.
I think one thing that people don't think about in the UK especially is that it's key workers and NHS staff that are living in camper vans at the moment too, not just people that actually either choose it or do it on a like regular basis kind of thing.
Yeah. We've got one of the people that's staying here, she's a key worker, and the police, the community support officer said, "Oh, you're not allowed to leave. You're not allowed to go to work. We're blocking the road. I can't go anywhere." And she was like, I'm a key worker. You can't stop me from going." It was just a ridiculous conversation. Like, it was just like, they were like bullying us, basically, trying to get a rise out of us or something.
Yeah, it's a shame, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully some sort of good will come of this. I think people are like quite positive. Like I said, it's the best and worst of humanity at the moment, but we've been getting a lot of positivity, haven't we? We haven't really had anything too negative. And like I keep saying, we count our blessings, really. We got lucky. But yeah, we don't know what we're going to do really after this.
What about in general then? So you've been on the road for 9 months?
9 or 10?
9, I think.
Yeah, somewhere between 9 and 10, yeah.
Have you had any negativity in general, like whether that's come from people you've met on the road or your own family and friends and all that kind of thing? Have you had much of just people just saying, I don't know, they had comment like, I don't know, are you not going to settle down? Are you not going to do this? Why would you do that? Why would you,
Family and friends wise, they knew what we were doing. They were on board for a long time before we left. So never from family and friends. If anything, they want to be here with us, I think, more than anything.
Yeah. Which is good.
I don't think I'm speaking out to any, but we get most of the negativity is because of our registration plate with a GB at the front.
Yeah.
If it's Brexit or just being British. Which is a shame, really, because we get tarred with the same brush as everybody else, depending on, doesn't matter what you voted for or what you didn't.
Yeah. I mean,
I had some hostility when I was in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Purely based on the British plates. That was it. Like, I didn't speak to the people, but they were angry at me. They were all talking to each other and just being angry at me because I started my van up like 30 seconds before I drove away. I was just doing my last checks that I'd got everything, and they were like having a real go at me for starting my van up and having my van running. And I feel like that was just like they were making out like I was part of a disrespectful country or something. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, we've touch wood, we haven't really experienced much of that at all. You right?
Yeah, now I'm reading.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone's been pretty good. I mean, we've met a lot of people on the road, mainly older people, I'd say, and they've kind of taken us under their wing a bit, which is nice. And they tell you about their experiences and give you some tips. And I don't know, we just try our best to be respectful wherever we go, don't we?
And try and make a good impression and leave a place better than what we found it. We often like litter pick and just try and tidy up a bit, but sometimes it's just impossible. And just try and represent the best we can, really.
I think, funnily enough, I would say the more negative stuff we've had was probably in the UK. like in the Lake District, people coming past blaring their horns in the middle of nowhere where we were camped up and stuff like that. And
no, nothing that's like scared us. What I think Mel just asked if we ever get homesick being away from home. The only day we were, which was the Christmas Day morning.
Yeah.
Just because we had massive FOMO because everybody was at home together doing the things that we are used to doing, really.
Yeah. But apart from that, been all right.
Yeah. And then I think Explorers wants to know if they think that they'll have issues with Spanish plates in the UK. I'd say probably not, especially when you get out and start talking British.
That's a thing in the UK, is it?
No.
I don't think. I've never experienced anything like that, or know anybody that's done anything like that.
Yeah.
There are far other. I think that possibly if you had other countries like Eastern European countries, I think you'd probably find more hostility. But I don't think even that's a thing massively. Really, I think that. I don't think that's a problem.
No, it's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
Seen a lot.
Yeah. It's just sort of what next, but that's the same for everybody, really.
Yeah.
Unprecedented, really. So we don't know. We don't know.
I think I'm pretty much going to head to Cornwall. I think that I'm going to work for a bit. I think I've got some work in Cornwall, so I'm going to work for a bit, save up some money, then go to Cornwall, spend a couple of weeks there, and work as well, and then just hang out there for a bit.
Does your work allow you to travel a bit? Does it?
Yeah, I've got. I travel around for the most part. Travel around to different sites doing different bits of work. So, mainly based in the Midlands area. I worked in sort of Brighton, Eastbourne, Bognor Regis, and southeast Kent area, Canterbury, and all that kind of thing. Up until the lockdown, and then hopefully we'll be doing the west side.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So you just drive to where you needed and just park up and.
Yeah, I think so.
That's it then.
When we went to Brighton, I took my van as well as Always Van Adventures work van. That's who I work with. We took 2 vans down there, and it was expensive and all that, but we had a good time. We had a good time. Stayed there for pretty much a week, I think.
That's good. Move about.
Hopefully, do more traveling.
Yeah.
Someone wanted to know if we've watched Tiger King. Yes.
How do you feel?
We haven't watched the last episode, so we're not that invested. But
the last episode is utter shite.
I've heard that, but I don't understand. I don't want to ruin another program.
Anyway, I expect it to be an actual follow-on, but it's not. It's just interviewing the cast members, basically.
Yeah. Wonder why they did that then.
I don't think it would have been such a bigger thing if people had got other things to do other than sit and watch Netflix.
Well, possibly, yeah, possibly. That is a possibility. However, I totally get why it's popular, because that pretty much sums up America and the culture of America and how they've managed to get that president. Because
it's wild, isn't it?
And the thing that I always say when talking about Tiger King is, when trying to explain it to somebody, it's the wildest program you'll ever watch, but it's real. It's not. All those characters are actually real people, and it's hard to understand that that's not actors.
Yeah,
piss out of something.
I don't know if it's funny or scary, really, when you when you think about it like that.
It's just how hypocritical each of them are. All of them are as bad as one another. Really,
it's just crazy how that kind of thing can happen in a country like America. Well, I mean, it happens in America because America's like that, but happens in the developing world
It's mad.
Anyway,
Absolutely mad.
Yeah. Quickly off this topic before we ruin it.
Oh.
What? Oh, we've gone over an hour, by the way, so we could end this at any time. I didn't realise. Why when you're having fun?
That's been good. I'd try not to ruin the program because I don't think explorers have seen it yet. So
Heather has just piped in with a comment. I live in the US. We're not all meth head tigers.
Sounds like a good occupation.
Yeah, it does.
No, it is.
You need to watch Louis Theroux. I've seen the Louis Theroux episode when it came out. Actually, I watched that way before, so I already knew about him. Anyway, yeah, we'll wind it down. I'll hopefully be able to get you back on sometime where you're somewhere else, and we'll talk about how life has changed.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Sorry?
We might all die, so might not.
Well, there is that. Whether sharks or coronavirus or an axe. There's
more likely.
There's a few ways to go.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that you've had an axe incident.
It'd be Meg throwing them at me, I reckon, if I think it does transpire.
Yeah, Pebble says Tiger King gives me hope. If those crazy fools can make something of themselves.
Yeah.
No, they're multi-millionaires. Sorry, we got back on Tiger King again, but I just can't get over it. I was reading something the other day that said Joe Exotic was once worth $20 million.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
How the fuck does that happen to people?
He can't buy his husband teeth.
Shh, you gonna?
That's just a little sneak preview.
The light's coming down.
Carol Baskin dies in the end. We'll leave it at that.
Hello, cats and kittens.
God. The other thing about that program is the memes have just been fucking incredible, and the TikTok videos that people have made out of it have just been amazing.
Yeah. Birthday cards. My sister's just had a birthday, and she had a Carol Baskin birthday card.
Really? I love stuff like that. I like it when things go on much further than the actual program. Yeah. Have you seen the well, I saw it today. It might not be a new thing, but have you seen this woman looking for a parrot video?
Yeah.
Loosely looking for a parrot called Chanel, and she's just screaming it on the street. And she's recorded it on a Facebook video to see if anybody can appeal for a parrot, but it's gone viral, and now that's got like remixes and fucking memes and everything. It's incredible. I only discovered it today, but
did you find the parrot?
I've not researched it yet. Surely there'll be a Netflix documentary for it in a few years' time, so I'll just watch that. Anyway, everybody watching this, say goodbye to Meg and Cal, Flora,
Richard and Judy, if you have to.
Judy, yeah. I've got it in my head now that you're Richard and Judy, and I can't think of your actual names.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah.
If you've got other questions we didn't answer, feel free to reach out to us, because it was hard to concentrate. I can't multitask on questions and the stream.
I hope everybody watching this enjoyed our babbling on about various things.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
It's been varied.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting us on.
Yes.
Had a really good time.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad that you came on. And I'm glad to have actually got to meet you as well, because it is funny, like when you get to talk to people that you've been watching online in doing their thing, and then you talk to them, you're like, oh, that's them.
Yeah.
It was really weird seeing you with your background.
When this stream started, we were like,
oh, there he is.
Forgot that we were talking to you live, like not just on YouTube player.
It is strange, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I will see you all soon, and I hope that lockdown treats you well, and I hope that you get out of it soon. But good night. Good night, everybody watching this as well. See you later.
Good night. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.